Hello, and welcome to the Calm Portal, a space where each breath brings you closer to peace within yourself, and every moment invites you deeper into clarity and intention. This guided meditation was created for those ready to shape an ideal life that is satisfying, rewarding, and true to who you are. A meditation for those ready to align with what they truly desire and to give yourself permission to pursue it. If at any point something in your environment requires your attention, you'll be able to return to full awareness simply just by counting from 1 to 5. But for now, this time and space is just for you. So find a comfortable space to sit or lie down, allowing your body to gently settle and begin to soften into the bed, couch, or ground beneath you. And when you are ready, close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in through the nose, and then exhale softly throughout the mouth, releasing any tension that you may feel within your body. Letting go of any stress from your day, as if with every breath out you're exhaling a little more resistance and a little more weight off your shoulders. And with each inhale you come more and more into the present moment, gently and slowly softening into acceptance as you anchor yourself into the present moment. Allowing, accepting, surrendering to this space, to each sensation, and the unfolding stillness growing within. And as you listen to my voice, you may begin to feel a deep comfort. And when your conscious mind begins to drift off, as it naturally and undoubtedly will drift off, isn't it nice to know that you can be so comfortable letting the outside world rush by, knowing that right here, right now, this time, this place is just for you? And as your body begins to unwind, notice how naturally it relaxes, as if it already knows how to enter this deep and restorative state. And as your eyes are resting, your awareness begins to turn inward. And all that's required of you is to follow the sound of my voice. Allow your subconscious mind to take the wheel and let your conscious mind drift gently into the background. Everything else is taken care of. Let the sound of my voice guide you deeper into relaxation. And as you grow more comfortable with each breath you inhale, you start to remember that the world inside is just as important as the world outside, if not more. And if you need to adjust at any point, stretch, move, unclench your jaw, just allow yourself to get even more comfortable and breathe calm into the body and fall deeper and deeper into a soft wave of soothing comfort, making its way throughout your body, limb to limb, arm to arm, from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. And with each breath in, your nervous system begins to soften, regulate, and unwind. And with each breath out, releasing any remaining debris of tension and discomfort. For no one knows you better than you, and this experience can unfold in the way that feels most nourishing for you. Simply observing the gentle rise and fall of your breath as the natural rhythm of your body guides you into a state of deep inner relaxation. Imagining a soft stream of light enveloping your body a light without judgment, without condition or expectation, simply holding you, accepting all that you are. And as this light makes its way all around your body, you slowly begin to remember that you already are who you wish to be. And within you lives every tool, every answer, and all the innate wisdom you will ever need. Allowing this light to awaken the visions and desires that lay dormant within, and gently dissolve whatever stands between you and the life that you imagine for yourself. This is a space of integration, not resistance, where even the past is welcome, not to be carried, but to be understood, and acknowledging that releasing attachment to the past comes from our willingness to learn from it. The goal here is not perfection, but wholeness, a life that reflects your truth, honors your individuality, and satisfies every part of who you are. This important time in your life is activating you and asking you to take a serious look at what is and isn't working for you in your life. The barriers you feel are intended to teach you. You were meant to trust yourself, to move at your own pace, to shape a life that feels right from the inside out. And your greatest power is that you get to create your life in a way that's entirely your own. And as you remain in this receiving mode, you acknowledge that by relaxing and giving in and letting go, you are able to flow seamlessly into your life experience, allowing it to unfold naturally, and let life reveal to you what's coming next, moment by moment, as new ideas will come, new clarity, new desires, as your being continues to evolve. And of course, it would be much easier giving in to your fears and to stay stuck in limbo, caught between the comfort of the familiar and the unknown path that calls to you. But it takes real courage to quiet those voices and choose to move forward. So today, in this moment, perhaps you are reconnecting with a younger self, before being molded by society and their expectations. Think back to what lit you up, what made you feel alive, what made you lose track of time before any rigid rules of life were projected onto you. Back when curiosity and imagination were your guides. This is your time to reconnect and to come back to that part of yourself, where living in a world of possibility felt easy and natural, where anything could happen, and you were guided by what felt good to you and what didn't. So ask yourself, what do you truly want? What do you truly want for yourself from this life? Take some time here to feel into what you truly want. Is it more fun, more clarity? Do you already have that ideal life vision, or are you searching for the puzzle pieces? This life is about creating your reality. You are here to observe, to compare, to consider, and ultimately to choose what you want and how you want your life to look. And as your life unfolds, you become clearer about what doesn't work for you. And from that clarity, you discover what it is that you actually want. With every thought and action, you have the chance to align yourself with the future you're moving forward to, or to drift away from it. And more often than not, you'll find yourself somewhere in between. Desires will always rise within you, but reaching those desires doesn't always happen easily, because resistance shows up, showing you that your mindset and habits aren't fully in sync with the success and fulfillment that you actually seek. And when your thoughts and wants don't match up with your actual beliefs, an internal gap begins to form. This gap is what you experience as emotion, your internal feedback system. It might show up as worry or frustration, procrastination, disappointment, but when you can be clear about what you want and why, and when your beliefs support those desires, that internal gap begins to close, and you begin to experience forward momentum, and that is the point of this entire process. Your emotions are designed to help you understand where you stand in any given moment, especially in relation to the desires and beliefs that are active within you. So ask yourself, do you respond impulsively to life's events? Or do you take a moment to consider your response before reacting? Can you recognize the challenges in your life which are standing in the way of what it is you're after? And are you able to manage your internal state in response to the constant flow of new wants and feelings that emerge from within you? Society often teaches us to believe that struggle and hard work and constant effort are the only ways to achieve success. But the truth is, you don't need to fight against life to create what you want. Often, unintentionally, you push against your own current. You say, I want this, but then you explain all the ways it's not possible or how things are right now. And it's those explanations, those beliefs about what is, that holds you back more than anything else. Most people get stuck because as humans, we naturally trust what we can see, hear, and touch. We want the final product in front of us before we allow ourselves to believe it's real. But if you insist on seeing before believing, if you can't feel excitement or accept your vision before it's tangible, that's exactly what creates resistance and holds you back. When you begin to shift into a mode of receiving, when you open yourself to what's coming rather than only what's present, your life starts to reflect what you truly intend. If you commit to staying aligned with who you are, and if you learn to trust and use your internal guidance system, you can become the deliberate creator of everything you desire. There is a part of you that is very ambitious and has a strong impulse to accomplish something significant in the world. You may have longed to blend in, to be understood, or to follow a straight and narrow path. But the truth is, you were never meant to be like everyone else. You were born to stand apart and to be the change. You may carry a subtle fear of being seen, afraid to share your gifts, afraid of being judged. But the journey now is to embrace what sets you apart, to trust your instincts, to realize you were never meant to follow the conventional route. Work should be less about relentless striving and hustle, and more about the experience itself. More than most, you are truly happy when what you do feels good in your body and engages your senses. You work best when what you're doing brings you joy. So trust what your body is saying. If something doesn't sit right, don't waste your time with it. You're guided by finding success on a path where you are genuinely happy, doing it for the right reasons, not to please others. And it's essential that you find authentic pleasure in what you do. The best thing you can do is to pay attention and listen closely, for life is always trying to show you, offer signs, guiding you toward the path of least resistance. Even if it's not what you expected, even if it's not what you hoped for, your challenge is to accept what is. Deep down, you've likely always known you were born to do something meaningful, and it's okay to prioritize your own experience, to focus on yourself, instead of sitting back or waiting for permission from life or others. And at first it may feel uncomfortable. You might feel cautious about stepping fully into your power, worried that choosing what you want will be seen as selfish or unconventional. You may feel the pressure to settle down or to follow practical paths, but even within those limits you can still carve out time for your dreams and give yourself permission to express what's real for you. It is always worth pursuing your dreams, even on the smallest scale. So moving forward from this moment on, you give yourself permission to pursue your dreams, to take up space and immerse yourself in all the things that support your potential. Not just the tasks that appear productive on the surface, but the practices and people and spaces that sharpen your focus and expand your sense of what is possible. Because clarity is not something that you wait for. It is something that you cultivate. And the more real and honest you get about what lights you up, the clearer that path will become. Clarity creates momentum, and momentum cannot be built if you don't know what you want and where you want to go. So it's never a lack of ambition that stands in your way, only a sense of direction. What often feels like laziness is rarely laziness at all. It's the heaviness of not knowing where to begin, mixed in with a splash of overthinking and the endless looping of thoughts. The pressure to have a perfect plan before taking the first step. But clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. This is what keeps you stuck and in a space of uncertainty. Everything can begin to feel like a distraction. You start second-guessing, overanalyzing, comparing, because there's no internal compass guiding your focus. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to trust the next step, and from there comes the shift from dreaming into designing, from longing into living. This is the true difference between being frustrated to becoming fulfilled. To meet your dream where it stands right now, every day, and begin shaping it into something real. Transformation begins not in grand leaps but in daily habits, proactive choices, even if it's only one choice. Each time you act on behalf of the life you want, you collapse the distance between where you are and where you're meant to be. So as you begin showing up for the life you want, something else will begin to happen. Decisions will become easier, clarity becomes a compass, and instead of asking, should I do this? You begin to ask, does this choice move me closer to my dream or further away? Releasing the thought and concern that every decision you make has to be right or wrong. Instead, you embrace that every choice is simply a step, a new piece of information, another piece to the puzzle, helping you make the vision clearer. So let yourself off the hook, for you are allowed to change your mind, and you are allowed to evolve in any direction the path takes you on. And with every clear choice, the more naturally you move toward it, that momentum starts to build. And yet, new ideas will form, and old desires will change. The vision may grow, transform, and move into something that doesn't even look like what it started with. And that is the whole point. You are the storyteller of your life, allowed to revise, refine, and reimagine. You may finally receive what you once longed for and realize it no longer fits who you are becoming. And as you sharpen your ideal life vision, you keep listening to yourself, to life, and to what it is that you truly desire. And as your desires evolve, you too will be asked to grow your capacity to receive them. Your next level of success depends entirely on how much you can accept and allow. And as you move closer to your dream life, you may notice something unexpected. Because whether we know it or not, we all carry unconscious limits on how much joy, love, and ease and success we believe we're allowed to feel and receive. And when life begins to exceed those old limits, when things start to go too well, hidden fears can rise up, trying to protect you, trying to bring you back to the familiar, and self-sabotage rears its ugly head, trying to pull you back to where you used to be. Not because you're broken, but because you've never learned how to feel safe in the experience of being and having more. These limits, unseen and unspoken, hold you back without your awareness. Your dream life is not meant to fit inside old boundaries. It's meant to break through limits you didn't even know you had. And so as you design this new life, this vision that lights you up, you'll need to be gentle and wise, because doubts and self-sabotage will definitely try to creep in and shrink that vision. They'll whisper that your dreams are too big, too bold, or too risky. And true success, however, is not only about achieving goals. It's about learning to live fully at a higher level of abundance without pulling yourself back down. Allowing yourself to receive what is meant for you. When you feel that resistance to imagining your ideal life, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what fear is hiding beneath this thought? What feeling am I actually running away from? It is true that leaving the comfort zone will feel uncomfortable at times. Expansion means moving into spaces you haven't been before, spaces within your mind, spaces in your life and in your experience. Yet it is in these unfamiliar places that your greatest gifts await. Your dream life will stretch you. It isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things. And as you begin to map that life out, notice what looks good and sounds appealing but doesn't actually feel good deep down. Whose voice are you listening to when shaping this life? Is it yours, or does it belong to someone else? And is that voice helpful, or is it hurtful? In some cases, you may find yourself worrying that your dream life is unrealistic, or too big, too far out of reach. But this worry is actually a powerful sign, and your inner self is just letting you know that you're approaching something important, something that stretches beyond the familiar boundaries of your current comfort. And it's okay to feel easy. And it's okay to feel uneasy about that. Growth rarely happens inside safe, predictable spaces. True expansion calls for stepping into the unknown, for daring to dream beyond what seems immediately possible. So instead of shrinking back or trying to tame your vision to fit in with what feels safe, invite yourself to sit with that discomfort. Allow it to be a natural part of the process, not a warning to stop, but an invitation to explore even deeper. Remember, you don't have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to see the whole path ahead. You just have to take the first step. One small step every day. And the more you lean into your vision and every step you take toward it strengthens your confidence, sharpens your clarity, and expands what you believe is possible for yourself. And when you become aligned and connected to the ideal life that you are envisioning, time itself begins to shift. It stretches, it slows, and it expands, no longer a rigid constraint, but a flexible space that supports your growth. Your dream life doesn't move faster because you find more hours in the day. That is an illusion. Instead, it accelerates when you make a wholehearted commitment to the journey ahead, when you choose to show up consistently with focus and courage. That is when time starts to work for you, not against you. So release the pressure of time and deadlines. All you are allowing for is that one step ahead. The pace of your progress is not the measure of your worth or the value of your dreams. Trust that when your intention is clear and your commitment is real, life will respond. Opportunities will open, and moments will align to support your path forward. Remembering no external circumstance, no person outside of you holds the power to create your happiness or success. Your happiness and success will arise from within, born in the way you see yourself, the beliefs you hold, and the choices that you make daily. Designing the life you desire begins with a decision. Who do you choose to be? Right here, right now. Not some future version, but the person willing to take the next step, to learn, to grow, and to embrace possibility without hesitation. This is where your power lies, in the present moment, in your willingness to become the architect of your own life. Designing your dream life means choosing who you want to be first. Not what you will have, not what you want to do, but who you are willing to become in the process. Because everything you desire flows from identity. The life you're dreaming of already has a version of you living it. Someone who makes aligned decisions, who follows through on what matters, who trusts their inner voice even when the path isn't clear. So ask yourself, what qualities does that version of me embody? What does that version of me believe about life, about possibility, about what's meant for them? How do they show up for themselves, for their vision, for the world? This isn't about pretending to be someone else. It's about remembering the deeper truth of who you already are and giving yourself permission to live from that place now, instead of waiting for external circumstances to change. You don't become your future self after you arrive at your dream life. You become them now. And that alignment is what calls your vision into reality. Let your identity lead. Let your choices be shaped by the person you're becoming, not the limitations of who you've been. Because once you choose who you are, everything else, your habits, your boundaries, your priorities, your energy begins to reorganize in service of that decision. That is how transformation works from the inside out. Not through force or pressure, but through alignment, choosing to live as the future you today. So clarity and capability don't arrive before taking that leap. They grow after it. They emerge when you say yes to your vision, before you even feel fully ready. So all you need is to be willing, open, and in the receiving mode. Your dream life isn't about a checklist that you can tick off. It's more like a GPS. You choose a destination and then allow the route to shift as you evolve. Detours will happen. You may slow down, speed up, reroute entirely. But the important thing is that you begin, you take that first step. And if you feel drawn to many different passions, that is not a flaw or a lack of focus. Being multi-passionate doesn't mean that you're scattered. It means your gifts are combinational. You create through blending, not narrowing. You don't need to shrink who you are to move forward. You just need to choose a center of gravity for this season of life. Focus on what's next, not forever, just next. Growth will not come from boxing yourself in. It will come from committing to one path at a time, while giving yourself permission to reshape that path as you learn, as you stretch, as you rise. You are no longer asking for permission to want what you want. You are reclaiming your role as the architect of your own becoming. This life, your dream life, is not something far away. It begins now with the choices you make after every breath, and with the way you show up for that vision that lives inside you. And so as you return from this journey inward, notice what's shifted within you. Notice what feels a little clearer, a little more possible. You didn't need every answer to feel the truth rise within you. Your desires are not random, they are a roadmap. And so you began this meditation perhaps feeling unsure, weighed down, maybe even questioning whether you are allowed to want more. But you are here now, remembering that your life is yours to create, and acknowledging that clarity comes from choosing, from quieting the external and listening more to your internal guidance system, and having the courage to step forward even if the whole path isn't yet lit. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are becoming with every bold decision, every small act of alignment, every time you say yes to what's best for you and to what brings you closer to your ideal vision. Allow this moment to mark a turning point. You are no longer waiting for clarity. You are generating it through your presence, through your courage, through your willingness to begin. And in this space of awareness, you begin to soften even more, to loosen the grip of who you thought you had to be. And maybe, for the first time, you give yourself permission to be seen. Not the mask, not the version of you that plays it safe, but the one who's been patiently waiting for permission to dream. And even though there will still be moments of doubt, times when the path feels unclear, when life stretches you beyond what feels familiar, the invitation to return to yourself will always be there. To pause, to remember, to realign with the vision that chose you, and to come back to center again and again. Holding that quiet promise to yourself that you will keep showing up for the life you're building, that you will keep choosing your dreams, and even when the way forward feels uncertain, you will make space for the ideas that light you up, for the actions that feel aligned, and for the courage that continues to grow inside you. And as you do, you'll begin to notice more signs of progress, more reasons to trust yourself, and more moments of joy along the way. Because this life you're creating isn't built in one leap. It's built in the act of returning over and over to what matters most. The vision, the truth, you. And what's going to take place within you in the days that follow is an unfolding of your true vibrational nature. And life will continue to happen. New ideas will continue to rise within you. New moments of clarity, contrast, and desire. And now you're learning to bridge the gap between desire and belief. You're closing the distance between who you've been and who you're becoming. And as you move forward from here, you begin to walk with a new kind of awareness, one that honors your inner guidance system, the one you were born with. A system that lets you know in any given moment exactly where you stand in relationship to your active desires and the beliefs you hold about them. So pause and ask yourself gently, where am I right now? What is the mix of energy within me? Are my thoughts aligned with the future I desire? Or am I defaulting to old patterns and reacting without awareness? Am I meeting life with intentionality or with unconscious habit? With practice, you become more centered. You learn to hold your vibration steady. You become rooted in your truth. And more than anything, you begin to trust your ability to manage your energy in real time, to direct your focus with care, and to stay connected to who you truly are, even in the face of uncertainty. Because desire will never stop expanding within you. The stream of wanting of creation is infinite, and now you are ready to meet it with presence, with power, and to let your life become the most aligned, deliberate expression of your truest self. This is just the beginning. And now, in these final moments, you can rest in the clarity you've created, acknowledging that the most important words you will ever hear are the words you say to yourself. And those words are growing kinder, stronger, wiser, and more loving each and every day. And on the days they don't, it's all okay. You let yourself be, you give space to those feelings and observe how they fade. Some days they fade fast and some days they fade slow, but always remembering this too shall pass. And as these suggestions settle deeply into the subconscious mind like seeds planted in fertile ground, they begin to grow into the core of your being, naturally, easily, without needing force or try. Let everything else move around you as you remain still and strong within. This is your power. This is your peace. This is your portal. It has always been within you and it will always be there. You are whole, you are allowed, and you are free. And when you are ready, you may begin to return to full awareness, wiggling your fingers and your toes, taking a deep breath in and gently exhaling out. And as you begin to count slowly up from 1 to 5, you will return feeling lighter, clearer, and more aligned. 1. Becoming aware of your body and the sensations around you. 2. Feeling the energy return back into the space you're in. 3. Breathing in clarity and calm. 4. Anchoring back into the room. 5. Eyes open when you're ready, feeling whole and empowered. Carve out some time, take up some space, and thank you for joining me in the calm portal. The portal to calm is always within you.